Here's something that not a lot of people in corporate America talk about, but it's something that I think more and more people are waking up to. It's this: when you prioritize work over everything else in life, when you prioritize it over your family, your children, your friends, your own health, your own passions, your hobbies, you do not get that time back. I meet with executives all the time, and I have a young family, and I always ask them, what is the biggest piece of advice that you would have for me as a young dad? And they always say the same thing: I wish I hadn't worked as much. I wish I hadn't traveled as much. I wish I hadn't gone to as many conferences. I wish I hadn't skipped out on my kid's recital. I wish I had spent more time focusing on my health. That's what they say. Not one of them has ever said, I wish I had spent less time with my family and more time working. You see, they realize something, and although they have success financially, they have success in their career, they're never going to be able to go back and get all of that time that they sacrificed back. I think more and more people in corporate America are waking up to this truth, the truth that these companies demand the best of your life and that you never get the best of your life back.
I've been talking about how I am now unemployed, and it's been a very bittersweet process in that. But one of the main things that I've realized is I can't believe I withstood corporate life for so long. Like, I've always naturally been a heretic ever since I could remember. If you're watching this, you probably are in some way as well. Always been someone who fought against the grain, who thought outside of the box, who was never someone who you could really place in a box, who had different friends and did different things and had different interests, and honestly doesn't like being told what to do. And the fact that I withstood being in corporate that long is insane to me. Like, I was never meant to live a corporate life, and I know it kind of sucks. Like, I'm jobless right now, and I don't even know what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, what path I'm going to decide to take. But it's comforting to know that I definitely don't want to do anything in corporate. I don't know how people do it. Like, people are so comfortable and fine sort of playing this role and clocking in and clocking out every day, and that's it. Like, they're totally fine with their lives being mundane and working for someone else who.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna pause it real quick, real quick. I mean, me, I had my already. 20 years as a real estate agent, investor, broker in that space. During that time, I've worked for corporate companies. Matter of fact, I was able to get back to Atlanta because a great corporate company took me from being a sales agent, a sales representative, and gave me a territory with a team because I was able to sell. And being able to sell, I was now able to teach these individuals the products and how to actually sell those products. Now, down the line, I still ended up leaving the company because I saw bigger things for myself and I felt it was restrictive. But I did have friends that stayed at that corporate office, that specific company, and they were able to do their entrepreneur skills outside of their corporate job. And it was a lot of work, but they did it. I don't advocate either way works. If you want to stay with a corporate company and then still pursue your dreams, I would say continue to do it. I would say now is the best time to do it. It's better to do it now than any other time in history. We've got AI that helps and supports us to be able to do a whole lot more. It's a force multiplier. That's the best way to put it. Um, and then we already know what's coming down the line. You got Amazon. You got who else? Amazon, UPS, Home Depot, all these companies, Oracle releasing people, letting them go. These are people who woke up every day and their only thought was, dude, I got to get down there and finish this job. We still got to report the hand in. And then they would stress. They stress over the report not being in. They'll stress over the report coming over and the numbers being upset, being wrong. All these levels of stresses. And then when the day is over and they're done stressing, all they do is go home, sit down, plop in front of the TV, open a beer, pour a glass of wine, and watch the latest show. That is that composes their whole life. But if you know that there's more to you, I wouldn't say leave corporate. I would say use corporate to do bigger and better things. Corporate brought me back to Atlanta. Corporate gave me a bonus where I can get my family situated and get back into this space of Atlanta after being at the beach for about 2 to 3 years, sipping Mai Tais on the beach, 12 o'clock. Leon, why the heck did you come back to Atlanta? I love the city, regardless how much stuff I talk. I really do. The energy. Corporate allowed me to walk that path. So I'm never anti corporate. I'm anti corporate being everything for you. When you live, breathe corporate, when all you can think about is the next thing that needs to be handed in for your manager, for your manager's manager, when you make and create things that make teams or your groups flow a whole lot better and you don't get the credit for it. And guess what? You could have made that same thing for your personal business. Yeah, yeah. Because the reality of it is they're about their money and their shareholders getting their money and their profit and their production. Okay. Their outcome, what comes out of it. And a lot of times that means getting rid of people that they deem, we see it with AI with the layoffs, that don't need to be there anymore based on their model. If that becomes you and you don't have an exit plan, then it's your fault. It's not the corporation's fault or anything like that. So get your mind in the right place. If you're working at corporate, use it, leverage it, leverage it to buy your next piece of real estate land, leverage it to learn real estate, leverage it to have the time and the energy to wholesale, leverage it so you can learn AI and how you can use AI in that space. But please don't just exist. Because when you just exist in a corporate space, a year becomes 5 years, 5 years becomes 10 years, 20 years go by, and you sit back and wonder, like, dang, I really had a dream of doing this at one time, some type of venture or skill development or whatever it may be. But I'm scared. And that's what I find. A lot of people that make corporate jobs, their identity, they get scared when it's time to do anything other than that job they were given to do 15, 20 years ago.
Really doesn't even care about them. I just now know that corporate is definitely not it. And if you find yourself like sitting in rooms and really feeling like no one is understanding you, like you can feel it. Like you have these judgmental eyes on you. People are perceiving you a way that they think that they know you, but they have no clue who you are. And you just feel like you don't fit in, especially at work. It is like it's not worth being there. It sucks the soul out of me.
Yeah, one of the things was hard for me was knowing like you just didn't feel like you really truly fit, and it could be the organization. Even when I got promoted in my corporate job, um, going over and becoming a district manager for an area and running a team, I still always felt like I didn't fit because I was bigger than that. And there's a time where you're going to spread your wings, but I truly believe you can use these seeds as long as it lasts. These little seeds that you learn on the job, the money that you earn to build your dream, to build your passion, to leverage that. The days are done when people keep saying, hey, quit your job, become an entrepreneur. Job 9 to 5s are for bad people. 9 to 5s aren't for bad people. A 9 to 5 doesn't mean just over broke. It just means a 9 to 5. That's it. What determines if it's just over broke is what you do with the money that comes from that 9 to 5. The assets that you make, the revenue that you generate from that 9 to 5, what are you doing with it? Is it just paying your lifestyle, or is it now building for the future you to be able to step away?
Like my friends used to say that I looked drained, and now I'm happier and I'm lighter. I'm scared. I don't know where life is going to head and what's my next move, but I also know that I'm not selling my soul for just a title and like the honor of doing what you were supposed to do, which was find a corporate job and hold a corporate position. Like, come on. I want to be around real people who talk about real problems and make solutions based off of that.
See, and that's the world of entrepreneurship. Like we're looking at real problems, bringing in real solutions. You're a problem solver. That's the essence of being an entrepreneur. You can be both. You can be an entrepreneur. I know people that stack $1 million at their corporate job, and you can also be a entrepreneur. Because I know I'm thinking of one specific guy who actually that I know that actually stacked $1 million on a job, and then every year he would buy at least one, two at minimum, but at least one. If it was a okay year, at least one rental property that he could cash flow off of, or one piece of land that he could potentially build down the line. See, is what you do with the resources that corporate hands you. It's not corporate just a bad entity. It's what you do with it. That's it. And if we understood that, I kind of feel a whole lot better when we this shift that's taking place in the economy, in the lives of people, we would be able to navigate it a whole lot better because we wouldn't have our emotions so rung up and twisted over what a boss said to you. I'm potentially going to be let loose. I may get less loose. I may not get let loose. Blah, 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 blah. You know, they laying off these people. All these fears and anxieties that run to your mind. They're there because you've already made this job your solution. Your God. Like, this is your way out. And you're finding, you know already, low key, this job is not letting me get out in any way, shape, or form. And you still haven't realized you need to build also things that God has put on your heart, giving you a desire to do. Just go do it. And stop thinking that these corporate positions are going to solve your problem. They don't solve your problem. And it has nothing to do with race. Because I know Black people that are CEOs, CFOs of Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 companies, high companies, producing great money, living, bringing them a great lifestyle. Do you think all they do is sit back and wait for that check to come in and to show up at the job, clock in? No. Some of these guys, which you will probably never meet, and they're out here. Atlanta's fortunate. We got a bunch of millionaires out. They're out here building their own business while they're also working in someone else's business.
Arguing about colors and trying their best not to upset someone else or trying their best not to be fired because they're scared of their surroundings. I don't want to be surrounded by scared people. I want to be surrounded by people who really truly uplift others and are empowered and proud and making a difference in the world, right? So, yeah, corporate's not it.
Corporate is always going to be what you make of it. And I hope you'll choose, you recognize from the layoffs that are taking place that this is nothing more than an opportunity that you can use to build bigger and better things for yourself. Hey, like, subscribe, follow for more content. I will see you in the next video. The school community will be released pretty soon. We're still working on that. See you guys on the next live stream, next video. Peace.